Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another podcast for that ass. And we're live tonight, Steve. Chiefs just took down the Chargers 31-17. Brother, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it a little bit before we get started. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers before the end of the season. We just passed that 15K, so help us get to that. Man, pretty good game. Pretty good game. I have to say the offense did exactly what we thought. We thought the offense was going to get back in rhythm today, and guess what? They did. Patrick Mahomes looked like Patrick freaking Mahomes today. It was a beautiful thing to see.
Steve, pretty good? You're just calling this pretty good? This was great. Look,
it was great.
This offense looked like night and day difference.
Yeah, for sure.
And it wasn't just Mecole Hardman. I know people's going to be like, look, Mecole Hardman's back, baby. Look at that offense. No, Mahomes kind of trusted Sky Moore a little bit today. MVS got open. He trusted him a little bit today. He done things that he needed to do. Patrick Mahomes looked like Patrick Mahomes. And boy, did Travis Kelce have a day. This guy called it. I said he was going over 100. Little did I know he was going over 100 in the first half.
That was out of control. Crazy. There for a minute, I thought he was going to beat Shannon Sharp's record of 212 yards in a game.
I thought he was going for the all-time wide receiver receiving record.
Why not do it right there on National Tight End Day? Let's just break the record.
But
why the heck not?
Couldn't do it. They took the foot off the gas in the third. Actually, the Chargers just come out and played a little bit different defensive philosophy. They started putting more guys up, started playing more man-to-man, less zone, started double-teaming Kelce a little bit more. Yeah, but Kelce still had a day, man.
Yeah.
Boy, he had Taylor just horned up in the booth, baby. She didn't
was.
know what to do. She's about to pass out.
Her head was about to explode up there.
It was about to explode. All the,
No, I think the story of this game, Mike, was both, like you said, the defensive adjustments in the second half. And it wasn't just from the Chargers. It was from the Chiefs as well. First half, the game plan that Spags drew up, there were some holes in it, and the Chargers were finding it. And that's why they were able to score as much as they did in the first half. A lot of what looked like blown coverages, but I don't even know if they were blown coverages. I just think people weren't in the right positions. I'm not real sure. I'd have to go back and watch. But either way, both defenses adjusted in the second half, and that's why the game kind of slowed down. But, man, overall, great performance by the team. The defense, a decent day overall. Like I said, a little bit of a rough first half. But after that, they settled in, made some really good game-changing plays. Charles Omenihu made his presence known in his first game. That was cool to see. Chris Jones got held like crazy all day. No call.
Chris Jones was getting held all day.
It was unreal. I tell you, the referees were complete and utter garbage today.
If you ever say the Chiefs get all the calls, you are out of your mind.
It's insane. You know, I was like sitting around with Pops watching the game, and I was like, it's amazing to me how when something goes, against the Chiefs, like the Isaiah Pacheco face mask that they didn't call, right? It was plain as day, obvious he about broke his neck. And what did Tony Romo do? I think he's looking for the face mask, but if he is, it just wasn't there, and they move on. But every time there was something that was kind of maybe the other way around, it was they would dig and dig and dig to try to find something that the Chiefs did.
Yeah, like they even tried. They tried the Pacheco fumble. They were trying to make that happen, dude. Romo's out here trying to make fetch happen. You remember? She's trying to make fetch happen. Romo's trying to make this fumble happen.
Even I think it was like a catch up the middle. They were even like, let's look at that replay and see if they were hitting the defensive receiver.
You can tell the officials, everybody, they got to keep teams in the game because the Chiefs they haven't even been humming along this year, and they're just beating teams down. And if the officials don't keep it close, look, the officials give the Jets 17 straight freaking points in the first half, and everybody's crying about the Sauce Gardner hold at the end. It's like they give you 17, bro.
Like, I feel like that's the biggest scam. That's the biggest scam in the entire NFL. In the entire NFL world, the biggest scam is the fact that they have people believing that the Chiefs get all the calls.
Oh, yeah. It's not even
close. It's insane because 99% of the game we just get jobbed, and then there'll be one questionable thing, and they're like, man, Chiefs just cheat. It's crazy. What about Blake Bell? He never caught that ball.
Palmer actually had a push-off on one, and they called it defensive
Yeah, there was a lot of dumb pass interference calls, but the one that really struck me was Blake Bell never caught that ball. He never had possession of that ball.
I don't think he did.
And it was obvious he never had possession of the ball. But let's go ahead and give the Chargers the ball back. It's just crazy. But either way, it didn't matter. The Chiefs didn't let it get to them. They did a good job of doing what they had to do, finishing the game up and not letting the refs be able to dictate that. And that's what the Chiefs have got to do in these kind of games.
Right. The big thing people were worried about, Nick Bolton getting injured. Andy Reid updated after the game, said that he dislocated it. So not a break. That's great. Not a fracture. Nothing
Oh, it
crazy.
looked painful, whatever it
It did
was.
look painful. I guess if you dislocate that bad boy, it's gonna hurt.
I
But
mean,
look,
I
I'll
knew
say
something
this.
was wrong the minute he hit the ground, just the way he popped
Me
up.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. But look, he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. He may miss a week or two. I don't know. That's tough. But look, we went out and we got Drew Tranquil, and he got to come in. And as soon as Nick Bolton went out, I said, look, this is Tranquil's time to shine. He went in
his
there,
old team,
sacked Justin Herbert, made him look like a chooch right there
Sacked
on
that.
national TV. Dude, Herbert is a joke, by the way.
Herbert
he's now
stinks.
27 and 28. The Herbert over Mahomes talk, even in the same stratosphere, is the stupidest crap I've ever heard in my life. They got him at one point on his face, like he's picking pimples on his face in the fourth quarter.
That's
Because
gross.
he
I
can't get
didn't
on the
see
field.
that. That's
Did you not see
disgusting.
that? I'm going to have to make a whole entire short out of that.
I don't want to see that. That's
I
gross.
think,
It makes me want to puke.
I think Neutrogena will have a good time with that one. But let me tell you something.
Herbert's not in the conversation of top quarterbacks, by the way. He's just
Let's
not.
talk about Mecole Hardman. His
Let's talk about
homecoming.
him.
First and foremost, I said, look,
Welcome
Mecole Hardman
home.
brings familiarity. He brings playbook. He brings some red zone threat. We didn't see a lot of the red zone threat tonight, but I said his biggest concern was drops. Boy, I was attacked so hard. He hasn't dropped. He had 8 drops in a whole season, man. That's a little bit of concern. Okay, 13 for his entire 4 years. I get it. That only averages out to like 2 a season, 3 a season, something like that. Not crazy. But he drops at inopportune times. And lo and behold today, first attempt, he drops. But I'll tell you this. He kept his head in the game. He finally got that big 50-yard return there at the end.
That was nice.
He caught that 3rd and 6 to move the chains that allowed Pacheco to score the game-winning touchdown there at the end. Or actually not game-winning. We were up 7, but it's still
capped the game.
Dude, let me tell you. I don't think Mecole Hardman could have scripted it any better. Maybe he could have caught a big touchdown or chunked something off. He may have had that in the script. Maybe when he was dreaming last night about his return to Arrowhead. But, dude, on Dante Hall going into the Ring of Honor Day, you're going to have a 50-yard punt return? That's the story, ladies and gentlemen. Mecole Hardman with a hero's return.
With the hero's return. Yeah. I mean, you have to expect that kind of thing from Mecole Hardman. We don't expect him to come in here and be a number 1 wide receiver or something crazy like that. We know he's not that. I did like the fact that they didn't really use him as just a gadget guy today. They kind of had him playing a different role than you're used to seeing Mecole Hardman play. But what it really came down to, Mike, was his speed. And that's always what Mecole had. So, of course, on the punt return, 50 yards, that was beautiful. It was good to see.
I thought he was going to break it.
Like you said, that last catch there on the 3rd and 6, it's just his quickness. It was his quickness. He had that first step, and he got a little bit of separation. So, I mean, it's nice to have that. Also, shout out MVS. He only had 3 targets, but he was very effective today. Got a touchdown. And Rashee Rice, baby, always looking good.
What?
Rashee Rice is always looking good.
MVS? They used MVS today? What in the hell?
Well, I mean, he actually kept a play going. You know, like that was a good
to MVS.
Yeah.
We've all been hard on him. We even made the joke last night. Well, we know MVS is getting 1 catch for 7 yards. He got it. He got out there and did something. Can we build on it, please? Can we get this going? I thought Sky Moore done decent in his limited targets too. I didn't think he looked horrible. Kadarius Toney was non-existent. That's the one guy that was non-existent.
Caught like 1 pass, right?
Yeah. Right. It wasn't nothing crazy. I thought Kadarius Toney could have actually succeeded by getting Mecole Hardman back and maybe moving Kadarius Toney back to something he's naturally better at rather than the gadget guy, but they didn't do that. But it's hard to keep everybody going. But like you said, Rashee Rice had a big day. They're starting to use Rashee Rice the proper way, Steven. They're putting the ball in his hands, letting him get up the field north and south as fast as he can.
Exactly.
That dude can go 0 to 60 quick.
Mike, that's what we've been begging for. Just keep doing it because he's obviously the man. Let's do it. One thing that kind of struck me weird was the fact that what about the strategy of Andy Reid using Clyde Edwards-Helaire the whole first half and saving Pacheco to come out and punch him in the mouth in the second half? That was strange.
First half?
Pretty much. Like you didn't see much of Pacheco.
Think Clyde got that much.
No, you didn't see much of Pacheco, but then in the second half, it was like they unleashed him. So that was an interesting strategy, in my opinion. But, I thought that I talked about it last night, Mike. Their run defense is not very good, but our run blocking is worse than their run defense. We could not get anything going on the run.
Their run defense actually look good.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, our offensive line, don't get me wrong, dude. Their pass blocking, phenomenal. They're giving Patrick Mahomes all kinds of time back there. But they can't run block to save their life. It's crazy.
Right. Look, I don't remember Clyde getting a lot of work. He had 2 carries, I think.
He was in there quite a bit,
stuffed on one. He broke one for about 7 or 8. I think he had 2 carries, 5 yards, something like that. But the biggest thing for me was the drop pass there, on that little swing pass.
Yeah.
I knew everybody's going to hammer at him. But look, Clyde usually does decent during, like, he does well versus the Chargers. If I'm not mistaken, a few years ago, he had a 70-yard run against them. It sealed sealed up a big play there. But look, you got to use Clyde a little bit. Not saying you need to, but you got to use him a little bit because Pacheco has to be spelled a little bit. And Jerick McKinnon's not that guy you want to give 5, 6, 7 extra carries to because you need to keep him healthy as well.
Right.
So Clyde has to come in and do 2 or 3 plays. It's mandatory. They're going to do it. I'm actually more surprised that Andy is kind of not let Clyde do as much as we thought he was going to do this year. He's actually tempered what I thought that he was going to give Clyde. And to be honest, Clyde's kind of playing himself out of the roles. Like,
For
he
sure.
can't get anything right this year. Clyde looks horrible. It would not surprise me if they don't try to get something for Clyde here in the next few weeks before this trade deadline hits. I don't care if they get
I mean, like all signs are
they may
pointing
get
to that,
a
right?
bag of Lay's potato chips, man. They're going for about $4 a bag right now.
half-eaten bag of nacho cheese Doritos.
Dude, Doritos 2 for $8 right now. That's a deal in today's economy. 2 for $8. I don't even know if you get 2 full bags for Clyde at this point. I don't know what's happening with Clyde. He's kind of fell off the map. But I'll say this:
it is what it is.
Yeah, you can't overwork Pacheco and you can't overwork McKinnon because we all like a little PP on the PP with P-Ryan. But I just don't trust P-Ryan to come in and be that workhorse back if he has to be. So you don't want to run Pacheco into the ground. You certainly don't want to hurt Jerick McKinnon with the way he can play on third down, pick up the blitz, do things like that. You do not want any of those guys to get hurt. So if you got to let Clyde play just a little bit, fine with me as long as it's not turning into turnovers maybe.
Right. No, I wasn't complaining that he got too much work. I really don't mind what they did with Clyde today.
And I will say on that run that Clyde had, where he got stuffed, dude, if you're Adrian Peterson, you're getting stuffed. We can't block anything.
No, our run blocking is terrible. But anyway, I was not complaining about the snaps that he got. I was just saying it was an interesting strategy that they saved. They literally saved Pacheco to come out and be a spark in the second half.
I'll have to go back and watch that because I didn't pay much attention to that. I didn't
That's what it seemed like to me.
Grasp it.
That's what it seemed like to me. A second watch would be cool. But yeah, it's kind of what it felt like to me. You didn't see much Pacheco first half. Second half, they ran him a lot. He ended up with 13 carries total.
Well, what about Justin Ross today? Boy, he's tearing it up out there every time he gets a shot, isn't he?
Yeah, that was a terrible call, by the way.
That was a bad OPI.
Awful. But then again, it was on Ross. So he literally turned the wrong way. He didn't know what he was doing on that play. Right. It was all on him.
Blowing his shots, man.
Like, I know
everything Nagy
so much
said
potential
about,
there too.
Right, for everything Nagy said about, dude, when you get your shot, let's go out there and get it. Ross is just crapping the bed, but let me tell you something. That's what you're gonna do when you haven't got to play a lot, and that you're coming back from it. Like, you've got to work with this guy, and you've got to you got to take a couple of these with just like, he's gonna be like this. This is what it's going to be. We've got to get him in the rotation. We got to give him in a rhythm. We've got to get the chemistry going with him and Mahomes. Otherwise, he's just going to be a guy that just never does anything, and we're going to be like bust. And I just don't think he's got bust. I mean, he does have bust potential. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's a guy that
it's just going to be a development thing, man. It's going to take a while.
I don't want to give up on him.
I'm not expecting him to come out this season and do what people were saying. It's just not reasonable. So I'm not too worried about that. One thing is people were giving me crap yesterday, Mike, for saying the Chargers might score 34 because I had the score at 38-34.
Yep.
Well, you saw in the first half why I did that. Like, I'm not down in our defense. I think our defense is great. But what did I say? Every time the Chargers play us, they play like it's their Super Bowl. They always play their best game of the season. Everything seems to go their way. And guess
Chargers
what?
Tend to be
they were on pace for right. What was the score? What did the score end up being?
31-17.
Okay, yeah. So they were on pace to hit the 34. But hey, guess what? Hats off to Spags, baby. What a defensive adjustment. Because we're not used to seeing Spags nor Andy Reid, for that matter, make any halftime adjustments. That's always a complaint we have. And they both did well with that today. Today he did. He hit the nail on the head. He completely shut him down in the second half. And guys were flying around the field. I think Willie Gay had a phenomenal day. He ended up with a sack and made some other plays as well. What about the defense, though? The defensive line, of course, Willie Gay had that one sack, but then I think we had 5 sacks total. Yeah, Omenihu had one.
George Karlaftis got one.
Karlaftis, I think Mike Dana. Mike Dana looked good again. Like, how good has he been this year?
By the way, who wants to – oh, God, I don't even know how to talk. I'm so mad right now. We have got to form together a group of people and go take over the CBS building and kick those producers right in the nads. Who wants to watch the Colts and the Browns?
That was terrible.
They
Why
took
were they
our
doing
whole
that?
first quarter away.
First of all, did you all see the ending of that game? That was the worst performance by referees
And
I've seen in a long
hey,
time.
and who freaking cares, dude?
No one cared. But it was funny because, like, you think that NFL wouldn't have wanted everyone to see
the
on a national
players
stage them
on the
job the
teams.
Colts, but
Right. The Colts players, the Browns players, their wives, their families, they wanted to watch Chiefs Chargers too. They didn't care about their own husbands and siblings. They don't care because they suck. They're trash.
right,
Like, we
terrible.
don't care. And they just force fed that down our throats. And then Jim Nantz goes to the half or goes to the second quarter. That was a fast first quarter. Yeah, buddy. Because
We started at the 7-minute mark or something like that. It was crazy.
Dude,
that was ridiculous.
I'm launching a campaign to cancel CBS. I'm tired of it. Like, we don't care. Steve, me and you, this is the trauma coming back on us because we live in Kentucky. And
yes.
before
that happened to us every week.
Satellite, before Sunday Ticket, we had to do that. And locally, they would show the Colts, the Browns, the Titans, the crappy Bengals. And that's all we'd see. And they would always interrupt Chief time with crappy 3-3 ties going into the third overtime. And they suck, and nobody cares, and they're all fighting for 15th in the division. Nobody cares. They suck. I'm sorry. I had to get that raise.
Yeah.
That's my one
I'm
rage of the
glad.
day because the Chiefs, they earned no rage today.
I actually forgot about that. I guess because the Chiefs had such a good day, I forgot about it. But yeah, how ridiculous. I'm glad you brought it back up. That's something that needed to be talked about.
It did.
But hey, let's talk about some game balls here, man. So I said that Pacheco was going to have a day. I said 80 yards, maybe 100 yards total with receiving. Yep. And let's see, 2 touchdowns. He ended up with the 1 touchdown. Didn't get quite as many carries as I thought.
Look, Bob had a big one that they called a bogus hold call on.
Yeah.
Trey Smith. Come on. You can't call that. I get it was outside, but it was so minuscule, and he's already run by him. It didn't frickin' matter. You could call that on every play, dude. Why is it? But yet the Chiefs get the calls, baby. We get all of them, Steve. But I think you were right. You had Pacheco having a good game, and I think you hit that.
Well, yeah, but not to the extent. So now the game actually happened. Who do I want to give the game ball to? I think it's pretty obvious for me. Obviously, Kelsey had a huge day and everything, but I mean, Pat Mahomes has to get the game ball here.
Before you go, who said Kelsey was going to be MVP of the day?
You did. I was getting.
I said he was going to break 100.
I was getting that. See, you didn't have to toot your own horn. I was going to toot it for you, but you jumped the gun.
Touchdown. Hey,
but you jumped the gun.
I had to. You want to know why?
You didn't have no faith in me. I was going to give you some credit.
You had to know Kelsey was going to have a big day. Look, he's a different. Look, we found something that can take Kelsey to a different animal. Taylor Swift. And you guys, nobody wants to talk about Taylor. You don't want to talk about all the times they cut to the box. I'd rather watch Taylor Swift dancing with Brittany Mahomes every day than to watch them focus on that stupid Chargers lady that don't even like the daggone Chargers.
Right. Or normally what they'll do is they'll fully well, I should not say that this way. Never mind. Normally what they'll do is they'll focus in on like Justin Herbert or whoever and talk about how great they are the entire game.
Yeah.
So at least it takes it off of, all that stuff. But either way, back to the MVP or the game ball for the offense anyway. I got to go Pat Mahomes, man. 32 for 42, 424 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did have the 1 pick where I think if he wouldn't have got hit and could have put a little bit more on the ball, that was a good pass. So good day for him. I'll tell you, it's just underthrown. And I think it was because Khalil Mack hit him right at the time.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely the reason. But I didn't really think he was open the whole time. I thought he was kind of forcing that.
I think if the ball would have been thrown out about 5 more yards, Mecole could have got under it and maybe pulled it down. It wouldn't have been a pick for sure.
Yeah, it's possible.
But either way, Pat Mahomes looked like Pat Mahomes today. Like he was able to move around, get away from the pressure, let plays, the backyard football stuff. What he does, he was keeping his eyes upfield. He was looking at all the guys. He wasn't. It's crazy because you'd think with Kelsey having the stats he did in the first half, you would think he was just eyeballing him the whole game. This was the first game where he wasn't just honed in on Kelsey. He was actually looking at other targets, and it worked out perfectly. Looked good. Mahomes was able to throw some nice touch passes that he's not been able to hit all year. I mean, you saw that touchdown pass to Rashee Rice on the money. Just things like that. I welcome back Patrick Mahomes, baby. He looked like himself.
Patrick Mahomes, welcome to the 2023 season. Glad you could join us, Pat.
Heck yeah, baby. He looked good today, and I'm excited about that type of play from Pat going forward because it was very familiar, Mike, and it was a good feeling.
So Pat had what, 4 touchdowns today?
Yeah.
So he's at 15 on the season now. He's at 15. He's going to have 6 picks because he threw one today. His QBR, I think, was sitting at like 72.6. It should actually go up. He should be closer to like 79, 80 QBR now. So Mahomes is coming around. I think I'll give my game ball, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and give my game ball, and this is weird because it should be Mahomes. I get it. It should be Kelsey. I get it. It maybe could even be Mecole Hardman. He had a nice little homecoming. I'm going to go ahead and give it to the defense just because of the way they sacked up and played in the second half.
I wanted to do an offensive game ball and a defensive game ball, but you just
okay. So for the offense, I'll give the offense to Kelsey because I'm tooting the horn, toot toot. But on the defense, I'm giving it to the full defense. I think the defense as a whole stepped up. I think Willie Gay had a great day.
That's for who I was going to go with. Probably.
And I thought Snead looked pretty good too. I'll give Snead some
for sure. McDuffie made some great tackles.
I thought Justin Reed struggled a little today at times.
Oh, he also had some really good plays.
But he had some good plays.
Yeah, so I can't down anybody on that defense.
McDuffie struggled a little bit at times. Josh Palmer ate his lunch there on one of those.
Yeah, a couple plays here and there, but I think it was a scheme in the first half. I don't think it was any particular player having a bad day.
Shout out before I forget though, on Twitter. If you don't follow us on Twitter, it's at All Chiefed Up. Get over there, follow us.
X.
On X. My bad. There's a fella over there called KDPHXSZNN. I'm guessing it's KDPHX season. I don't know.
Cool.
But anyways, he's a big Kevin Durant fan. Who knows? But he was talking to us during the game, and at 17 points, I said, "Where's the Chiefs' defense?" And this guy tweeted at me and said, "I'm calling it right now. We don't let them score another point."
Nice.
Shout out. And he wrote me after the game and said, "I called that." And I was like, "You're right. You did call it. Shout out, buddy." So there you are. Awesome. If you're watching, shout out. Good job.
I did have faith in them having some good halftime adjustments, and that's exactly what they did. So, like I said, I predicted them to score more than anyone had on us this year, and the Chiefs kept them under 20. I mean, can't say enough about this defense. Looked really good. Spags is doing an excellent job with them. Like I said, they struggled the first half. They adjusted well, and hats off to all the players for sticking in the game, playing hard, playing good. Like you said, Willie Gay had a day. I think he looked better than he has in a long time.
Hey, Omenihu on his first game looked pretty good.
He did. There was a couple times where it looked like he was completely gassed, but he would come back the next play and make a play. So I'm like, got to get back in the swing of it, baby.
Yeah. Poor Chris Jones is getting held like there's no tomorrow here.
Like obvious, blatant holding too. Yeah, it was crazy.
Dude, so much. I don't know. I thought the officiating was kind of trash today, but it is what it is. We took care of it.
I fully expect that every week, though.
Oh,
just do. So nothing
especially
surprises
now that
me
it's an entire America, a national narrative that they just cheat for the Chiefs, which is the most ridiculous crap. You can tell none of these people ever watched Chiefs games from 5, 6, 7 years ago before Mahomes.
Well, they don't watch. They don't even watch Chiefs games now. They watch the last minute of a Chiefs game. They see a team commit a penalty, and they're like, "Well, you can't call penalties in the last minute of a game. That's cheating."
Right?
Like they're just dumb. They don't know football.
Unless it was the Vikings, then they wanted the penalty. So which one is it?
So I put up a poll before we got started. It was who was the Chiefs MVP today. So obviously Pat Mahomes, 59%. We're going to vote
Pat. Pat had a coming out party today, I think.
Yeah, and then 35% Kels and 7% said other. So I have to go back and look and see what was going on there. Who they thought the other was?
It's probably Mecole, probably a defender. But I'm going to say this because he's earned it. Here we go.
They call me El Travidor.
Oh, he gets one today. Yeah, he did. What about that? Like that was the El Travidor's touchdown was the epitome of the saying falling ass backwards right into it. Dude, the way he puts the ball up and just holds it, I was like, this dude's going to get the ball smacked out of his hand.
Dude, that was crazy. Like, I didn't realize what happened at first. First of all, if Mahomes would have just passed that Kadarius Toney, that was an easy walk-in touchdown.
He took Kadarius to get involved today.
He took the tough route and threw it in there to Kelsey. Sketchy is crap, but hey, it worked out in our favor. Strong hands by Kelsey there. Props to him for holding on to that ball.
Right.
And I don't know who it was that ended up pushing him into the end zone, but good job there. This game will be a good one to go back and watch the all 22 of just to see what broke down in the defense in the first half. Like I said earlier, I think it was more scheme than anything. I think it was just the game plan. I think they thought the Chargers were going to do something a little different. I don't think they were expecting the run heavy stuff that they came out with. And then also there was some different throws there. I don't think they saw coming either. So good adjustment though. Like I said, so great game overall. Chiefs are 6-1, pretty much have the AFC West and a lock. Got it in the bag, baby. Got the Broncos next week. and then we'll
Oh, yeah.
have the Dolphins, I think, and then we'll be going into the bye week. So crazy
Hey,
that we're almost pushing halfway of the season.
right. Hey, before we move on, let's take some questions from Chiefs Kingdom here. But before we move on, we've mentioned a lot of names today, a lot of deserving names. But there was one name we have not mentioned today, and I thought he played a heck of a game, by the way. Heck of a
Okay.
game, and he always does against the Chargers. Mike Dana.
Yeah, Mike Dana was a beast.
6 total tackles, a sack, and a tackle for a loss, and he had an extra QB hit. You want
I
to know
mentioned
what?
Mike Dana. I mentioned
Did
him
you?
already. I said he
Okay.
was a beast.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mike Dana.
I didn't leave
needs
him
his,
out.
Mike Dana needs those flowers right now.
For sure, man. I think he's had a great season. But we always said if he can stay healthy and be in there, it'd be interesting to see what Dana can do with a full healthy season. So far, so good, man. It's he's a key piece. I think he's always
Mike
getting
Dana,
pressure.
is he getting to what we predicted at the beginning of the season? We said Mike Dana would get to double-digit sacks possibly this year. He's at 3.5, and he got one this game.
Did we
That's
say
4.5.
double digit? That's a stretch. But I mean,
said I think he could get double digits this year.
I think we said like 8.
Yeah, but I said I think he can get double. He's at 4.5 right now, dude. And
Hey,
we're
he's
not even
going-
halfway.
He's going ham, baby.
He's doing better than Felix.
Hey, Mike Dana, have yourself a day, buddy. Have yourself a day.
Steve, let's talk a little bit before we answer some questions. Let's talk a little bit of what's going on around the league today, though. By the way, the Bears beating the Raiders 30-12. How bad are
Hilarious.
the freaking Raiders, dude?
Hilarious.
Dude, they stink. Okay,
Not surprising.
the Patriots beat the Bills. I love it when Josh Allen loses. This is a great
To the
day.
Pats. The Pats are trash, bro. This
Dude.
just shows you the Bills in a nutshell. Like they have the ability to be a good team, but they are choke artists. That's
Right.
what they do. Just
Hey,
go out and smack them in the mouth.
Eric Bieniemy puts up 7 points and loses to the
Hey,
Giants.
can all of you Eric Bieniemy, we miss Eric Bieniemy, Matt Nagy sucks. People, can they just can you all own up to being
Just
wrong
quit.
yet? I mean,
Hey,
come on, please.
The
We'll give you
best
this one chance. Just be like, hey, I'm dumb. You're smart. I'm stupid.
Hey,
You're intelligent. I'm
leave people alone. about
dumb.
me
You're
and me.
cool. I'm a nerd. You're the best. Like,
Look.
just go ahead. We're gonna give you your chance. Go ahead.
Quit. The Broncos got a win today, 19-17 over the Packers. But the one of the day, by the way, all week long we heard all chiefed up is just sore losers because you all wouldn't include the Lions as the best 5-1 team. They're
Hey,
superior.
did I not call this? Did I not say
They're
this last
superior,
night?
Steven.
I just
Hey,
said this last
30
night.
38-6. You got walloped by the
I
first
just
team that
said
actually
this.
played. Okay, and you. By the way, you beat the Chiefs by 1 point on opening night without the two of our best 3 players. Like,
And
that was the
Kadarius Toney
dumbest
handed him
thing I've
14
ever
points.
heard.
Like, dude, I'm telling you, I called it last night. I think the Lions are a good program. I think they're on the up. I don't think this is their year. And I said, hey, what's going to happen when they play a really good contender? We saw it today. And I'm not saying that I'm not even sold that the Ravens are like a huge contender. And they absolutely blew the socks off of them.
Right, dude. Some people, was it Stephen A that actually put the Ravens though in his top 5? He put them over some 5-1 teams. I don't remember. It might not have been him. I don't remember who it was. But either way, I thought going around the league today, I thought a lot of stuff that the Chiefs needed actually worked out in our favor. I'd say maybe the Lions could have beat the Ravens. That would have helped us because obviously that's an NFC team. Nobody cares. We'd have rather the Ravens took the L. But here's an interesting thing. We'll talk about this more. By the way, if you guys, you're going to notice if you're here for the first time, there is no super stickers. There's no super chats. There's nothing like that. YouTube sucks. Okay. They demonetize us for no reason. They,
Terrible
by the
platform.
way, Steve talked to him yesterday, and you want to know what? The lady said, you guys make excellent content, by the way. Keep doing what you're doing. And Steve said, you demonetized us and told us that we stole it. And she said, oh.
Let me look into that for you.
So let me look
And then,
into that.
Oh wait, well I can't do anything. It's already
Right.
closed. It's closed. I can't do nothing. But you
So
have
in other
great
words,
content.
Yeah. So in other words, we're stupid here at YouTube.
Oh,
we all
and
knew that.
all the money that you earned before here, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it.
So right. So Patreon. Patreon.com/allchiefedup. Get over there, get a Patreon membership. It's $10. You get extra videos. We're probably going to talk about this. We talk about more stuff than the Chiefs. We'll talk a little bit about all NFL stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to probably talk about this a little bit more. But by the way, I had an idea today, and I was like, if the Ravens can show that they're right there with the elites of the AFC, and I think after pouncing the Lions, I think they showed that today, that if it's going, it's going. Do you think they may be a dark horse to go out and trade for a big-time running back that can
Who?
change the game? The Ravens. because of all their running back issues. I think they may be on the verge of trading the Bears. No, my bad. I don't know why I said the Bears. The Giants for Saquon Barkley. I think that might be the big trade at the deadline this year. Kind of like a Christian McCaffrey trade.
What the heck are they going to trade for him?
I don't know. Second round pick, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I do know that they probably want to get back. The best that the Baltimore Ravens ever played was probably in the height of Lamar, Mark Ingram, and those guys. So they probably want to get back to something like that, which to me, I don't find that offense effective. It's boring to watch, but hey, they had a pretty good season that year.
Hey, if they trade something to Barkley didn't get the big contract in New York. He's probably going to leave.
Right.
He can come here and be a rental for the rest of the year, and maybe with Lamar Jackson and putting him on the team now, you might be able to compete a little bit. You're still going to get smashed by the Chiefs, but other than that, you're going to give yourself a like some hope. There's going to be a hope. But anyways, let's take some questions.
Before we get to the questions real quick, what do you think about this game tonight? Because I don't know. Has it even started? It probably started already.
Yeah, it started. I think it's 3-3 or something.
Okay, I said last night I think the Eagles can maybe knock them off.
I prefer the Eagles to win.
I think they can ball control just enough to keep that high-powered offense off the field. And I think they can maybe take this game, so it'll be interesting. Put it in the chat who you think is going to win the game tonight. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm with you. You have to be for the Eagles, right? We want the Chiefs to be the clear cut in the AFC right now.
Yeah, for sure.
We want that one seed well within our grasp. Even this early in the season, you still have to have that mindset, right?
Yeah, I do believe. But yeah, if you guys got any questions about the game or whatever, throw them in the chat. We'll answer a few questions here. And yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game today, Steve.
Yeah, for sure.
I really enjoyed it. I
enjoyed it as well. It was nice seeing that old Chiefs offense we all know and love. Just get out there. We could score at the drop of a hat. It was beautiful.
The drop of a hat. Julia says, is Mike feeling better? I am feeling a little bit better today. When the Chiefs won, it gave me a rush of adrenaline. I've not had to blow my nose today. If you've noticed, I've not been bending over like this.
Not as much.
So we're fine. Yeah, let's hope it keeps going. Did anybody, by the way, get to go to the game from our chat? I know Brian Parrott got to go to the game today. That's why he's been missing MIA lately. So congrats to Brian Parrott.
He's out there living it up, having himself a day.
Hey, he's out there bumping elbows with Taylor Swift. I know
he might have been up there with Taylor Swift.
He was up there in the booth. He was hanging out with Jackson Mahomes.
Could you imagine Brian Parrott, the Brian Parrott we met at Zarda, hanging out with Jackson Mahomes?
Oh yeah, I really could. I could see them doing a TikTok together, doing something like that.
Yeah, that'd be good stuff.
Troy says, "Man, both of you guys didn't want Mecole back. You guys are sad." Troy doesn't know much about anything, so this is the thing. We said that Mecole Hardman wasn't really needed. I don't think it's like he's not a game-changing number one, by the way. But I actually said that I preferred him back over Frank Clark, by the way. And look, if you watched our game again today and think that we still need to go out and pay an aging Frank Clark, I think you're crazy.
No, I don't think we need to at all. Yeah, I don't think Mecole was necessary.
Troy gets to go on the Gaslight.
Troy,
club, so
you earned the name of Slapnuts today, so you're now Slapnuts.
Troy gets to go Slapnutting. Jared says, Mike, do you think our wide receivers are finally clicking?
They're getting that. They're getting there.
They're getting there, man. They're getting there. I think what it is it's not that the receivers stink. It's that the receivers are young and they're inexperienced. Now, no MVS is not young per se, but he's new within the offense. Even Kadarius Toney, by the way.
Right.
So I feel like they just all have to get used to each other. They still got to get used to the offense. They got to get used to how Mahomes is.
They got to get used to not quitting on plays. Yeah, that's what MVS did today. Got him a touchdown.
Right. Jared asked, has anyone heard about Nick Bolton? It's a dislocated wrist, so he should be decently fine. He may miss
as long as there's no structural damage.
Right. But he should be okay. Omar says we got to hear about Jackson and Taylor Swift news all week from news feeds. You know what? It's the price you got to pay for being on top. If you look, Kelsey, he's out there. He's dating celebrities. It is what it is. It could be worse. You could be look. You could have to hear all week long about how we have Tyler Palco and can't win a freaking game, or he haven't thrown a touchdown to a receiver an entire. Like, why are we whining about little things like that? Like, who cares?
Yeah, I
let them
don't care
talk.
either. It's
Just let them
funny
talk.
because everyone
I
says
would
that.
rather
Even
be in the news. I would rather be in the news than not be in the news, because if you're not in the news, you suck, by the way.
well, who even cares? Like that's the funny part. I think the thing I think is funny about most people, even like that aren't Chiefs fans, like if you just get on any kind of social media, it's like, do we really have to hear like see Taylor Swift? We just want to watch the football game. Have they not shown the football game and only show Taylor Swift at any time?
Yeah, I don't think they've shown her and not shown the actual play. I don't
Right.
know.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know what? Deal with
Right.
it. It's
Hey,
okay.
Brent says, "How do you guys feel about Colburn's situation? It's controversial." We had a whole entire thing about that last night. Brent,
Yeah,
go
go
back
back
and
and
watch
watch her
that one.
live last night.
But yeah, to Colburn
Summarize.
is okay. Yeah, Colburn is like, we thought he could be good. We thought he had a lot of potential with certain aspects of his, like when you're scouting him, you see certain things. But the Chiefs didn't see that, and they know more than we do, and they've seen every rep he's taken. And I'm not going to question the Chiefs. Could it turn back to bite them on the butt sometime? Possibly, but I'm going to say that's probably like a very small percentage. And
Right.
it's possible he could be back, by the way. Like, he may
Of
not make
course.
it with the Broncos, so.
Hey, Chiefs are always looking to take back their old players, or at least the fans anyway.
Right.
So
I'm Kelly. Kelly says, "Dude, it's fine. Let the man enjoy his life and bring fans to KC." You know what? Yeah, I don't care, man. If Taylor Swift shows up and the Chiefs keep winning all the games and Kelsey keeps balling out at a new level, you know what? Cool. But she's getting ready to go on a international tour, so you're not going to deal with her much longer, because I think she's going to be out of the country here in about a week or two.
I mean, we're undefeated with Taylor Swift in stands. So I mean, can you really hate her
Yeah.
that much? It's like, it's like the superstitious thing, like, the baseball players that'll wear the same pair of socks and stuff like
Right.
that. At this point, just let it play itself out. It's okay.
Right, man. I hear you. Justin said, "I was there at the game." There you go,
Nice.
Justin. There we go. He said, "My voice is completely gone. I'd like to think I helped the defense with the hooting and hollering. Let's go."
Absolutely,
You did,
man.
Justin. Justin, you're the real MVP. You were out there. You were helping getting the sacks. You were helping that big false start there when the wide receiver just ran 7 yards up the field. Didn't even know that the ball hadn't been snapped. That was hilarious. That was one of the funniest plays I've watched in a while.
Hey, Richie, what's up? He says, is there one more trade coming, Mike? Do you think there could be one more trade coming for the Chiefs before this trade
Look,
deadline?
if there's a trade, it's either going to be one of two things. It's going to be for a position that you don't even think the Chiefs need. It's not even going to be on the radar. It's going to be for like a third safety or
Some random.
a 14th corner.
You don't think they'll pull some random stuff out of their butt like Brett Veach tends to do from time to time, like the Kadarius Toney trade last year, like for some random receiver, something like
But
that.
at the same time, I don't know if they'll do it. I mean, I feel like today the receivers showed a little bit of progress. I think they're getting better and better each week. Look, for this whole week, we've had some kind of talking point going around. I don't know who posted it. I don't know who said it on social media. I don't know who put it on YouTube. But all week long, the narrative has changed from Sky Moore stinks to Sky Moore's open a lot. Mahomes just won't throw him the ball. We got to throw him the ball more.
Dude, it doesn't
Where did
matter.
that come from? Who said that?
I don't know. I don't know.
But
I can't.
We've kind of been
with
saying
these
that all
people.
year because
You can't with these
Mahomes-
people, Mike.
Yeah, Mahomes don't want to throw him the ball, and we said that. By the way, we said the Sky Moore gets open a lot. By the way, and it produced a lot of separation. People's like, he does not.
Well, here's the thing. Sky Moore, he's continuing to get better. We'll see how it goes. I did notice today he actually had a play where he did what he's supposed to do. He literally kept the play going, and guess what? Patrick Mahomes just barely overthrew him, but that could have been a huge play. So he's just doing the little things. Give him some time. Give him some time, people. But yeah, shout out Tom Hood. He says, I had the Chiefs winning 30-17. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but freaking toot. He was 1 point off.
There you go, Tom.
So let's freaking go, Tom. Yeah, that's pretty dang close.
Toot, Tom. Have yourself a night, Tommy.
Jared says, all right, boys, Jamal Charles or Priest Holmes. I'm taking the one, the only Jamal Charles.
I don't want to pick. I'm not choosing.
I had to take Jamal.
Look, I think Priest, for what he was at the time and what Vermeil made Priest Holmes, was epic.
Yeah,
I don't know if
sure.
you'll see a story like that. But Priest Holmes was a heck of a player. But it's hard to go against Jamal Charles. He had that elite speed. He had that. Dude, he was crazy. He was nuts. But I like both of them.
Amani's in here all bricked up, son.
Amani, come on, take it down a notch, buddy. You're gonna pass out. Hey, I'm putting together, you guys. I'm putting together my Chiefs versus Chargers short, my weekly wrap up. Dude, I've been writing the script today. I recorded it
I
before
love
we got
them.
on here. It's freaking hilarious.
We decided
tonight.
to go with more of a comedy thing for that, make it fun, because
Right.
a lot of people do recaps, and I was like, Mike, why don't you just make it funny and ridiculous? And of course, everyone misses the humor, but it's still
Dude,
funny to us. So
Everybody,
whatever.
nobody even noticed that I called Mahomes and Kelsey the ankle twins last week.
That was
Not a single
hilarious.
person said ankle twins. They
That
didn't
was
get
hilarious.
it. It went right over their head. Whatever.
Jared, what's up, Jared? He says, hey, Mike and Steve, can we at least give Sky more credit for the nice block for the Mahomes first down? Yeah, that's another thing Sky Moore did well today. That's the thing, man.
Hey, I thought they were going to call him for a hold, to be honest, when I watched that. I was like, here comes the flag.
Dude, I wouldn't have doubted it.
Yeah, I was waiting for it, man.
Yeah. Lewis, I think you got to chill on Ross a little bit. He's going to take a while with him. But, I mean, there is some bust potential there. But let's give it time. See, I was actually, me and Pops were talking today. The way that Rashee Rice is playing right now, what if you could get Justin Ross rolling the way that we know he can play?
Right.
And in the future, look at what you got with those two. And Sky Moore coming out of the slot or whatever, dude. Like, we could have a nasty receiving core going forward.
You've still got Kadarius Toney in a rookie contract. Could you imagine if, like, you know what I mean? Like, what if he goes out and sees what Mecole Hardman did and goes and wants to make a big bunch of money or whatever, but you seen Mecole coming right back after they couldn't even figure out how to use him. So maybe Kadarius Toney's like, look, I'm not going to chase a big contract. Let's just get what they'll give me and stay. What if all these guys start developing? I mean, you might have to see MVS walk. He's going to make $11 million next year. They could possibly get rid of MVS after this year. But, dude, what if all these guys actually pan out? Like you said, Justin Ross and Rashee Rice for the long term would be insane.
Right.
I think you got to let them
Yeah, let them develop. Let them develop. I mean, it is what it is. We all know that, young receivers under Andy Reid don't really come out and just set the world on fire. So give them some time. What's up, Gary Holland? Good to see you, my man. He says, Mike and Steve, do you feel the receivers played better since Mecole Hardman came back? I think he did give them a little bit of a spark, right? And I think it has to light a little fire under their butts too. Like, hey, you better do your job. You better start doing it well because they don't care to throw an old guy back in your place.
Right. Well, I've seen one play. That was the 3rd and 6 catch that moved the chains and got Pacheco the touchdown. That was the one play that his speed that I could see. There may be a few more. I'll watch it on all 22. But that was the one that I seen where his speed, they chased Kelsey. They thought Hardman was going to clear and Kelsey was going to come underneath, and it ended up being the other way around. And they used Hardman's speed there. Other than saying that Hardman directly made the receivers play better, I don't see no evidence of that right now. But I do say, like Steve said, I think those receivers are like, dude, come on. This is the 2nd year in a row we've had to make a mid-season. Like, let's go. The receiver room's got to step up a little bit. And I think their coaches, Embry, by the way,
yeah, dude, he's got to be on the hot seat, right?
In his life, by the way.
Got to be on the hot seat a little.
Embry was a running back in college. So I don't get it. But yeah, this guy's out here teaching our receivers how to do running back stuff. It's cool.
Jared asked, do you think the flags against the line today were legit or not? What did they really call on the line?
They did call a hold early. Who got the hold early? Was it Taylor or Smith?
That one hold on Smith on the big, the Pacheco run. I thought it was a little
Trey Smith on that one.
It was a bit ticky-tacky, but at the same time, he did grab Jersey, so it kind of is what it is. I wasn't too mad at it. I thought the false start on Kelsey was a little ticky-tacky. They said he was moving forward. I think that's up for debate. Other than that, I didn't really see a whole lot. I thought a lot of the bad flags came in the secondary. I thought the offensive pass interference, the defensive pass interference was very unclear today and made no sense. Other than that, it was just the things that they missed, kind of,
Right. That goes with Kelly's question. What are your thoughts on the refereeing this game?
It was bad. I don't
think it was very good, but at the same time, I mean, I guess it's tough in a way. Like,
is it tough? Is it tough to look at a replay of Blake Bell never catching a ball and then say that he had control of it and took 2 steps?
Well, look, they said in super slow motion, he catches the ball, he tucks it, and he takes 2 steps.
Did you see that when they showed the super slow motion?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I don't know. I don't think it
looked like to me the ball was bobbling around the entire freaking time.
Right.
So hey, at least they got the. I'll give them props. So they did not overturn Pacheco being down, and I honestly thought they were digging for a reason to keep that game close. I was like, dude, I could see them blowing this call right now, but they didn't. So credit
Right.
them for that. But yeah, there were some bad
Well,
calls.
look, for this to kind of be basically in the first half, it felt like the Chiefs were going to run away with it. But then in the second
There were
quarter, our
times they should
defense
have.
stopped playing. And then it was close. It stayed a 1-score game the entire game till Pacheco put it up by 2 scores. But I never really had that like concern. Did you? I never felt like the Chiefs
No,
were
I
in.
never felt like that game was in question.
And I think that speaks to how much more I trust the defense
Right.
than I have in years past.
Yeah. What's up, Mike? He says try focusing on Chris Jones all game and witness how much he's being held every single game.
Yeah,
110% correct, Mike. We were talking about that earlier. Chris Jones was held non-freaking stop this entire game, and it was like blatant holding at times. Just they don't care. It's like, do you think the refs feel like that Chris Jones is so good that they have to allow some holding? Is it like one of those things?
Look, at the risk of being a conspiracy theorist, I don't think the NFL sways games. I 100% don't believe that they go out and be like, look, this team's got to win. This team's got to cover the spread. They got to do this.
I do think they try to keep things close sometimes.
But I do think that they try to keep games close to at least keep the ratings good. Because that's what makes the money.
I'm not be surprised if they don't mess with the point spreads. I think there's a lot to that. Anything where there's money involved.
Oh yeah,
there's a little bit of corruption.
Rogue guys. I'm not saying the NFL endorses it, but you can have rogue guys doing it. They caught the NBA in a scheme like that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Anywhere where there's that much money at stake, there's corruption. So I mean, I don't doubt any of it. But I'm with you. I don't think it's like an overall big. Here's your script, like dumb stuff, like people say all the time.
Yeah. What's up, Aaron? Appreciate you, brother. He says that, well, at least they got the non-fumble correct. You're
exactly,
right, man.
Exactly.
I was so afraid that they were going to come back and be like, no, the ball was moving. But look, here's what helped me with that is because I said, dude, they called it no fumble on the field, and there was no video evidence to overturn that. So I know they've come back and done some stupid stuff, but like part of me was like, dude, there's no way they come back and say that you could see. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Okay, I only watched the replay like once or so when I was watching the game. I just watched like one replay. I didn't watch it over and over. But they kept saying something about Pacheco having the ball in his right arm, I think, or left arm. Either way, it stayed in the same arm the entire time, did it not?
Right. He was trying to say that if he was carrying it in his right and then when it rolled over, he tried to move it to his left.
I don't think that ever happened, though. It never moved.
I don't either. I have to watch it again, but he was saying something like when he was up, it was in
I was like, are they
arm
looking at his freaking arm? Like, because they kept saying something about the ball being there, and I was like, I don't see the ball at all
I think
this.
Romo and Jim Nance and dude, it doesn't matter who it is. We've had Collinsworth, Tirico. They started the whole entire Jawan Taylor hit job, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who the officials are or who the announcers are. Their job is to sit there and be shills for the league and to say every call is correct unless it's the Chiefs and this and that. And that's their job, and they want to make it close. They would have loved nothing more than overturn that and let Herbert be a hero. Because why? That would have been ratings. That's ratings. So I don't blame them. That's just what you're going to get, man. If you don't like listening to him, just turn it off and listen to Mitch.
I'll tell you one thing. I cannot stand this guy. But how good has Keenan Allen been this year? Like, I feel like he's playing lights out, and Justin Herbert misses him so many times. I would want to go up and smack him upside the head.
I absolutely despise Keenan
I
Allen.
do too. But good Lord, the guy's playing lights out. And how many times does Allen miss him? Or not Allen, but Herbert misses him. It's crazy.
Herbie
it's crazy,
Hancock.
Man. I would be so mad.
He targeted him 9 freaking times a day. How much you want him to target him?
No, he targeted him. I'm not saying it's the targets. It's like he'll be wide open, man, and he will miss the easiest throws. It's insane. Like he even did it in last week's game, wide open touchdown, and he just overthrew him for no reason. It was crazy. I just think that Herbert's overrated, man.
Chris Jones was blanked out of the box score today. Not a
tackle, of course he was.
Not an
if you're allowed to hold him at all costs, then yeah, of course.
He did get a QB hit, but yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Chris Jones today.
Let me ask you this for all the people that said we didn't need Chris Jones. If Chris Jones wasn't in the middle creating havoc this whole game, do you think Omenihu would have had the game he had? Do you think that Mike Dana would have had the game he had, or Karlaftis would have got home? Hell no.
Right.
Chris Jones creates so much in our defense, and people don't even realize it. Even when he's blanked in the box score, he's a massive impact.
Right.
So
Brian Parrott's in the house. He said,
made
"What's
it,
up, y'all?" Brian Parrott, did you enjoy the game today, brother?
Hey, did you have yourself a day? Did you have yourself a day, Brian? Did you have a good time? Did you hang out with Taylor Swift today? And Jackson Mahomes.
We felt like you were in the box. We thought we seen you in the box with Swift and Mahomes, so we didn't know, but let us know. posted. Did they report on Bolton's injury? Yes, they did report. It is a dislocated wrist. He should be fine if there's no structural damage. He should be
Oh,
good.
Brian got a hold of George Karlaftis today. Hey, did you call him a sexy beast from a distance?
Don't.
George, you're a sexy beast, bro. And he was like, who is this dude?
Who
Is that what happened?
Who is this?
Kelly. Willie Gay was on fire today. He had a great day. Good day for Willie. Very, very good. I was excited about that. I feel like Willie's never exactly lived up to the potential, but you see today what Willie can do. Like, he's so athletic and just he can fly around the ball all the time. Like, I don't know. There's just so much to his game. I just feel like he's never quite got it together. Today was a really good day for him.
Yep.
I'd like to see more
agree.
of it. I'd like to see more of it.
Man, I thought everybody had a pretty good game today. If I just had to break it down to that, I thought the Chiefs, this was an overall good team win. I felt like our defense struggled at first, but they got it together. I felt like the offense, for the most part, was pretty successful. They went through a few drives where it kind of stalled this and that, but again, man, you're playing against a team with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa and Derwin James. Like, that's a good.
How good was the offensive line
great,
at protecting Patrick Mahomes today, though? Because they are a really good pass rushing defensive line, and they couldn't do squat. Greg says he's going to tell YouTube that we stole his comments about Jones, or our comments from him from the chat. Go ahead, man, do it. They might give you a reward. Maybe they'll send you the thousands of dollars they stole from us. How about that?
They could.
Yeah,
guys, you ain't gonna believe this, by the way.
Thousands.
I just seen this right now. This is a big story right now going around. Somebody just sent it to me. I clicked it. It was reported by Chargers Report Fan Nation. Okay, so this is the same thing as who does it in the Chiefs? Who does for Fan Nation on Sports Illustrated? Is it Arrowhead Pride or Arrowhead?
I don't know.
One of them does something for
Arrowhead
Sports
Addict.
Illustrated. Okay,
I don't know.
yeah. So
it's
one of them, but the Chargers version of that had a story that come out today. Am I frozen, by the way?
No.
Okay, because my computer's acting weird. But the Chargers come out with a story today, and their whole story is how the refs missed a blatant penalty that allowed the Chiefs to score their late touchdown to win the game in the fourth quarter. This is making the rounds. Yeah,
I know what they're going to say too. I know. I guarantee you, I know what they're going to say.
What is it?
They're going to say that Trey Smith blocked a guy in the back.
No, they said that it was Jawan Taylor false started on the play.
Oh, get out of here!
And it was
Just
blatant.
shut that off. Shut that off.
It was blatant.
Just exit out. They're dumb.
Yeah,
Slap
I've already
nuts.
turned it off. Dude, I'm telling you, it just never fails. The Chiefs, by the way, they were winning the game. And all you got to do is a chip shot field goal won the game. We didn't have to score there. We still shut them out because Brian Cook got the pick.
I thought they were going to say the block in the back. I thought they were going to try to say a block in the back because when I first saw it, I thought, man, did Trey Smith just push that guy in the back, knock him down? Didn't even need to. But no, he was already engaged in the block. It was completely legal.
I thought they were going to try to pull
that. Yeah.
Crying and looking and crying.
Taylor
Binkies
false
around.
started.
The Binkies are coming.
Give them some damn Binkies, bro.
False start.
We need to start a Binky Foundation where we can just hand them out to everyone. Like, if you're going to cry about the referees and the Chiefs, just go ahead. We'll send it out to you free of charge. Take your Binky. Take your Binky and shut up.
Just a bunch of slap nuts is all they are. It's just a bunch of slap nuts. But, Steve, that's going to wrap it up for today, man. What do you think about it? What do you think? The Chiefs are sitting at 6-1. Are you pleased at where the Chiefs are sitting? Are you pleased at the offense? Are you pleased at the defense? And if you say anything but yes, I will come to the screen and smack you.
You have to be happy. How can you be mad at 6-1, especially when that one game has an asterisk beside it? I mean, we definitely should have won that game even without Chris Jones and Kelsey. But Kadarius Toney had a day. So it is what it is. But 6-1, I said, Mike, if we get past or get to the bye week with 3 losses or less, I would be happy. And right now we're sitting at 6-1. We should beat the Broncos next week as long as they don't go out and lay an egg. And then we got a tough matchup with the Dolphins, which I do think we can beat the Dolphins. I think we're a better team than Dolphins all around. It's just, can we stifle their offense? And I think our defense can. So I think we're in a good spot, man. I just hope that we can stay at the top, get that 1 seed and go back to back here, dude. That's the ultimate goal. And I'm super happy where they're at. Loved that the offense came on today. Looked like the Chiefs of old. Patrick Mahomes looked like himself today. You got to be happy with that.
Yep. I was pleased by it. I think it was a good game. I think everybody else should go. You should have yourselves a night. Have yourselves a day. I don't know when you're watching this. You may be listening on the drive to work. You may be watching it tomorrow. You may be watching it on a Monday, having a little Victory Monday celebration.
Right.
That's
Hey,
what I say about it.
and do your boys a favor. Get over to patreon.com/allchiefedup.
Please.
Become a member for just $10 a month, and it helps us kind of keep our heads above water while YouTube is absolutely and 100% robbing us for 3 months.
Yeah.
Made our lives difficult, not gonna lie. So any kind of support would be much appreciated. It's just $10 and it would help us out tremendously. You get exclusive content weekly, and we're working on extra stuff to even throw in there as well, just because we really appreciate you guys that take your time to go off this platform to another one and actually show us some love and support. So you guys that have done that already, can't thank you enough for that. But just wanted to throw that out there one more time. Hit that like button on your way out.
Please.
And go Chiefs. We're freaking 6-1, baby.
We are. Go Chiefs. Hey, look out for that short tomorrow. I'm going to make it hilarious.
It's going to be a good one.
Heaven was a sight from my soul.